Oh, beloved, there is something so sacred, so divine, about the moment when God, the Eternal One, steps into the frailty of human time and whispers into your soul about your future. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a dream. It is heaven invading earth. You're going about your day, and suddenly you feel the hush, friend. I may not know exactly where you're standing today, but this I do know. God never leaves his children wandering in darkness forever. There comes a moment when the fog clears, the shadows flee, and the voice of the Lord roars like thunder within your spirit. That moment is now. This is the time. God has unveiled what's ahead for you, and it's time to be ready to walk in it. You didn't land on this message by coincidence. You're not here merely to hear another encouraging word. No, you're standing at the edge of a divine unveiling. God is speaking straight to your heart. He's about to lift the curtain on your destiny. Can you feel it stirring? Can you sense it deep in your being? You've been praying. You've been waiting. You've been crying out in the night, Lord, what's next? What's your plan? Where are you leading me? And the skies have seemed quiet. But I've come to declare, not with human wisdom or hollow words, but with the firm authority of the Holy Spirit, that God has not overlooked you. He's been preparing you. He's been refining you, shaping you, humbling you. Not to tear you down, but to raise you up. The shaking you felt wasn't to destroy you. It was to anchor you more deeply. The delay you experienced wasn't denial. It was divine scheduling. And now God says, I'm getting ready to show you what's next. There are divine moments when the presence of the Lord rushes in like a flood, when his word cuts through confusion and his will becomes unmistakably clear. This is one of those moments. The Lord is opening your spiritual vision. He is removing the blindfold. What's ahead won't look like what was. You wandered through the wilderness. You faced storms that nearly took you out. You've endured betrayal, illness, loss, and deep doubt. But still you're standing. Still you believe. Still you're holding fast. And now the Lord is saying, because you didn't quit, because you didn't curse me in the heat of the fire, because you kept seeking my faith, I am revealing my purpose. What's coming isn't just survival, it's revival. What's ahead isn't just endurance, it's breakthrough. You've traveled through valleys, but now the Lord is raising you to high places. He's restoring what the enemy devoured. He's about to make hell regret ever laying a hand on your life. The enemy believed the waiting would wear you down. He hoped the pain would destroy you, but God used it all to deepen your foundation. You are not who you used to be. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are more of a threat to the kingdom of darkness than ever before. Let me tell you this. When God reveals what's ahead, it won't look like the world imagined. It won't match your critic's prediction. It may not even align with your own expectations. It will be greater. It will be divine. And the door he is unlocking, no man can close. The path he's paving won't be stopped by situations. You've been asking for insight, and God says, I'm giving you direction. You've been praying for calm, and he says, I'm giving you purpose. You've been pleading for healing, and he says, I'm calling you to heal others. He's transforming your pain into a platform. He's using your broken places to release blessing. you must pay close attention. When God unveils what's ahead, your response must be obedience. This is not the moment to hesitate. This is not the season to play it safe. God is not leading you into comfort. He is calling you into courage. He's not asking you to preserve what you have. He's calling you to expand what you carry. What's coming will demand greater faith than ever before. You'll have to leave the boat. You'll have to step onto the waves. You'll need to trust him even when everything around you seems unclear. But hear me. He will not let you down. He has never failed. His record is flawless. His promises stand true. His power is unmatched. Do you feel the stirring inside your chest? That's not mere emotion. That is divine confirmation. The Holy Spirit is echoing this truth deep within you. You've tried writing your own script. You've tried solving it through your own strength. But now God is saying, it's my turn, be still and watch what I will do. What's coming next will astonish those who doubted you. It will leave speechless the ones who walked away. It will silence the voices of fear and shame that have tormented your thoughts for far too long, because God himself is intervening. The same God who split the sea, who shut lions' mouths, who raised the dead and moved the stone, that same God is unveiling his plan for your life. And this plan is not small, it's not average, it's not ordinary, it's kingdom designed, it's backed by heaven, it's ignited by fire, but it begins with surrender, not halfway surrender, complete surrender. You cannot take the old into the new. You must drop the weight. You must release the fear. You must let go of the pride, the unbelief, the resentment. You cannot enter the next season with a divided heart. You must burn the bridge behind you. You must declare, Lord, not my will, but yours be done. What's next is a harvest, but only for those who didn't quit in the dry season. It's a reward, but only for those who remained faithful when everything felt barren. God isn't revealing what's next to impress you. He's revealing it to activate you. You are being called. You are being released. You are being chosen for this very hour. The Lord has been whispering to your spirit. He's been confirming it through dreams. He's been signaling it through signs. And now he's proclaiming it loudly. Prepare your heart. Get ready. Set yourself apart, for tomorrow the Lord will do mighty things among you. The season of delay has come to an end. The days of doubt are behind you. You've been circling the same ground for far too long. You've been waiting for a confirmation that God already gave. You've been replaying past wounds while he's trying to place a new melody in your mouth. Stop glancing backward. Stop questioning your values. You stop measuring your calling against someone else's. God has no desire to use a replica. He wants the surrendered version of you. The imperfect yet faithful you, the hurting but still hopeful you, the exhausted but obedient you. Because it's in your weakness that his power is made complete. And as he unveils what's coming, he's also revealing who you truly are. You are not a mistake. You are not abandoned. You're not too late. You're not too early. You're not too broken. You're not disqualified. You are appointed. You are anointed. You are called. You are covered. You are in the same Father who began a good work in you is faithful to finish what he started. This is not your ending. This is the beginning of a fresh chapter, authored by God himself. Yes, resistance will come. Yes, the enemy will try to retaliate. But no weapon formed against you will succeed. The gates of hell cannot overcome you. Every tongue that speaks against you will fall silent. This is the inheritance of those who serve the law. You are about to enter territory that was written in your destiny before time began. You are stepping into divine timing, divine favor, divine momentum. Some of you have been hidden in the shadows, overlooked, misjudged, cast aside. But God wasn't punishing you. He was protecting you. He was shielding you from wrong doors, wrong people, and wrong timing. Because when he shows you what's next, he'll also show you why the waiting mattered. It will all come together. The tears, the tests, the night you wept alone, they weren't in vain. They were seeds. And now rain is falling. Growth is taking root. The promise is unfolding. You were never meant to live stuck in survival. You were created to flourish. You were designed to carry power. You were called to shine in the darkest places. What's next is triumph. What's next is divine openings. What's next is prayers finally answered. What's next is the arrival of everything you've been carrying in the depths of your spirit. Remember, the contractions were intense. The spiritual warfare has been fierce, but now comes the delivery. Now comes the promise. Now comes the breakthrough. Lift your eye. Look past the pain. Look past what's behind. Your Redeemer is alive. Your God is mighty. And he is revealing what's ahead because you are ready to step into it. You don't need another sign. You don't need further proof. The word of the Lord has been spoken to you this day. The light is green. The moment is now. Step out. Step in. Step forward. And hear this. When you walk in obedience and respond to what God has shown, there will be results. There will be peace. There will be divine favor. The people will ask, how did you do it? And you will respond, I didn't. God did it. They will be amazed. How did you survive that storm? And you will declare, because the Lord stood with me. They will wonder, how did you know what path to take? And you will testify because God revealed the way ahead. And when he does it, when he elevates you, when he blesses you, when he works through you, you must return all the glory to him. Don't allow pride to rob him of the moment. Don't let the cheers pull you away from the cross. Remain humble, remain hungry, remain set apart, because the same God who reveals what's next is the same God who empowers you to endure. He's not only the God of new beginnings. He's the God who brings things to completion. He finishes what he begins. You are not retreating. You are advancing. You are not diminishing. You are rising higher. You are not lost. You are chosen. And the fire of the Lord is going before you. His word is fortifying you. What's ahead is not just another blessing. It's your divine assignment. And it was not man who declared it. It wasn't a prophet or a mentor or a friend. It was the Lord himself, and his word will not return void. So rise up, mighty one, dry your eyes, square your shoulders, steady your step, set your face like flint. The moment has come, God has spoken. He has revealed the next move for your life. And no power of darkness can stop what he has decreed. God is not a God of confusion. He is the creator of clarity, the author of destiny, the master of alignment. When he reveals the next chapter, he speaks it not with hesitation, but with authority, with intention, with holy fire. And when the Spirit of God begins to move within someone, you can feel it. There is a shift in your spirit. There is a holy unrest that shakes your comfort. A divine stirring that refuses to let you settle where you've been. God isn't merely suggesting change. He is issuing a command. And when God commands, heaven stands behind it. When he shuts one door, no demon in hell can open it again. When he announces a new season, he doesn't just give you direction, he gives you the divine strength to walk it out. What's next might not be what you expected, but it will be exactly what your spirit has been crying out for. Some of you asked for safety, but God is calling you into boldness. You've prayed for calm, but he's getting you ready for warfare. You wanted stillness, but he's giving you vision. And when God shows you what's ahead, you must be ready to cast off every weight, to cut ties with everything that holds you back, and to move forward into your promise with holy fire and unwavering faith. Let me remind you of this, beloved. When God begins to unveil what's ahead, he will test your willingness to obey. He'll offer you a glimpse of the promise and then pause to see if you trust him enough to take the first step. You won't receive the full blueprint. You won't know every twist and turn, but he will give you a word solid enough to build your future on. A word that speaks louder than the voice of fear. A word that will carry you through the wind and the waves and through the longest, darkest night. That's how God operates. He doesn't unveil the full staircase. He simply says, step forward. And for those who walk by faith, that single word is enough. Now listen closely. There's a prophetic urgency in this moment. God is speaking clearly. He's uncovering the truth. He's calling his people out of the chaos, out of the confusion, out of compromise, and into divine direction. He's telling you to stop looking behind. He's saying to stop reliving past wounds. Stop replaying former defeats. That page has turned. That season is finished. Your calling isn't connected to what you lost. It's connected to what you're walking into. No, God didn't bring you here just to leave you wondering. He brought you to this place to open your eyes to what is about to manifest. And some of you, you've been listening to the wrong voices. People who try to silence what God whispered in your secret place. People who ridicule the dream God planted in your spirit. People who call it impossible. Who say you missed your moment. Who say you're too damaged, too late, too far off course. But I'm here to tell you, God's voice is louder. His ways are higher. His plans are greater. And when he declares a thing, his word never fails. It accomplishes exactly what he sent it to. So now you must choose. Will you believe the critics or the creator? Will you lean into the crowd or lean into Christ? Do not fear what's coming when God reveals the next step. He's already gone ahead of you. He's not sending you into uncertainty alone. He's walking beside you, covering you, empowering you, creating rivers in your dry places and opening paths in the wilderness. His direction is always matched with his provision. Just as he gave Abraham the ram at the right moment, just as he gave Moses a rod to part the waters, just as he sent fire for Elijah, he will supply all you need for what's ahead. But don't expect everyone to recognize what God is doing in you. When Joseph spoke his dream, his brothers despised him. When Noah built an ark, they laughed. When David faced Goliath with a sling, they scoffed. But God always had the last word, and he still does. He's not revealing your future to win you applause. He's not showing you the next chapter to make you blend in. He's showing you so you can break out of people's expectations, out of yesterday's chains, into your divine purpose, fearless and unstoppable. The anointing over your life has been prepared for the season ahead. It is not leftover oil from past victories. It is fresh. It is renewed strength. It's designed for what lies ahead, not for what has already passed. And you must grasp this. When God reveals what's next, he is ultimately revealing more of himself. He isn't just presenting a strategy. He's inviting you into his presence. And in his presence there is abundance of joy, supernatural power, and eternal purpose. That's why the enemy fights so hard. That's why he tries to cloud your vision. Because he knows that once your spiritual eyes open to what God is doing, you'll stop accepting the counterfeit comforts the world throws your way. Child of God, this is your moment to rise. It's time to dry your tears and lift your eyes toward the mountains where your help comes from. It's time to dust off the discouragement and step forward into divine purpose. You are not forsaken. You are not invisible. You are not bypassed. You are chosen. You are appointed. You are set apart for this divine moment in time. God is revealing what's coming next because he is ready to do something brand new in your life. He's not reciting old favor. He's releasing fresh. He's not patching up what broke. He's constructing something greater. And listen closely. This part is vital. When God reveals what's next, it's not only about you. It's also about the people attached to your obedience. Your yes will unlock healing in someone else's life. Your faith will ignite boldness in someone else's heart. Your obedience will cause a ripple that echoes for generations. Don't let fear cause you to miss what's ahead. Don't trade your future for the comfort of the familiar. Yes, the price is high, but the purpose is higher. Some of you have been standing at the edge of your breakthrough, stuck in old patterns, stalled by hesitation. But the Lord is declaring you've been here long enough. Now it's time to move. Move forward in faith. Move forward in confidence. Move forward in the authority of the Holy Spirit. You weren't created to wander aimlessly. You were born to conquer. Now is the time to step into the territory, claim the promise, and walk in the life God revealed. Yes, there may still be giants in the land. Yes, the resistance may appear intimidating. But the same God who parted the sea, who sent manna from heaven, who shut the lion's mouth when raised the dead. He is going before you. And if God is for you, who can stand against you when God unveils what's next? He places a decision before. Will you remain in the boat, or will you step onto the waves? Will you cling to what's known or trust the fire burning within you? Will you choose comfort or walk into your divine assignment? Faith won't always feel safe, but it's always worth it, because every step of obedience brings you closer to seeing God's glory unfold in your life. So today, I encourage you, by the mercies of the Lord, rise to meet this moment. Step away from the shadows of the past and walk into the light of what's ahead. God has already shown you a glimpse of what's next. The only question that remains is, will you follow him into it? Don't allow the silence between revelation and fulfillment to shake your heart. The instant God reveals what's ahead, the enemy sends distractions, delays, and detours to undermine your confidence. But hear this clearly. Delay is not rejection. Silence is not abandonment. Just because God isn't saying more right now doesn't mean he's changed his plans. The same voice that once said move hasn't gone quiet because he's forgotten you. It's because he's watching to see whether you will walk by faith and not by sight. Your wilderness isn't the final chapter. It's the classroom preparing you for what's coming. Your silent season is not punishment. It's development. And development always comes before release. When God begins to reveal your next assignment, you must make space for it. You can't carry yesterday's disappointments, yesterday's thinking, or yesterday's habits into this fresh season. You can't pour new wine into worn-out wineskins. Some doors must be closed. Some people must be released. Not because you're above them, but because your purpose has shifted. There is a cost to bearing the weight of God's call. You can't satisfy everyone and still obey his whisper. You can't hold on to comfort and still chase your divine calling. The road to purpose is covered in sacrifice, but it shines with glory. There are sacred moments in life when heaven collides with your calendar, and moments when God disrupts your plans to fulfill his own. And when that happens, everything starts to shift. Suddenly, the patterns become clear. You begin to understand why the trials were necessary, why the tears had to fall, why certain people left. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It wasn't your downfall. It was the start of divine alignment. And once you grasp that every painful delay was actually sacred positioning, your questions turn into praise. You stop asking, why me? And you begin declaring, Lord, thank you for entrusting me. Because here's the truth. When God unveils what's next, he isn't offering convenience. He is inviting you into covenant. He's calling you into a journey that will require your all, but offer more than you could ever ask. In this new season, obedience will be your lifeline. You won't survive by skill alone. You won't flourish by intellect. You will prevail through surrender to the Spirit of the living God. You must decrease so he may increase. You must set aside your own plans so his glory can be revealed through your story. Don't wait for the crowd to applaud your next move. When Jesus stepped into his purpose, the crowd cried Hosanna on Sunday and crucify him by Friday. Man's approval is fleeting, but God's anointing is unshakable. And if following your calling means walking alone, then walk alone. If you must leave the 99 to follow the one who calls from heaven, leave them and go. Because the price of obedience is nothing compared to the weight of missing a divine assignment. You need to realize you were never created to be ordinary. You were never meant to just survive and disappear. Heaven penned a purpose over your life before the foundation of the earth. And now God is unfolding that purpose before your very eyes. He didn't rescue you to keep you seated. He redeemed you to release you. He appointed you to battle, to bear witness, to mourn with the hurting, and to blaze like a beacon on a hill. This next season isn't about what you can gain. It's about what God desires to do through your surrendered life. It's not about rising higher in visibility, but about going deeper in devotion. What God is preparing to release in and through you will demand greater holiness, deeper intercession, and a more refined fire. And let me speak this in truth and urgency. Stop seeking confirmation from those who haven't been set apart. Stop requesting direction from people who don't even have an altar. The step God has shown you is sacred, and sacred things require reverence. Some people won't grasp your level of conviction. Some will mock your boundaries. Some will accuse you of being too intense, too consumed. But the higher your assignment, the narrower your path must become. The broad way leads to destruction, but the narrow road brings life, and few are willing to travel it. Don't resent the narrow road. It has already been walked by the feet of Jesus. What comes next in your life is holy. Bathe it in prayer. Guard it with purity. Feed it with the truth of Scripture, because what God has revealed to you is not fantasy. It's a heavenly mandate sealed before time began and now activated in your generation. And He is calling you to steward it with character, to declare only what He tells you to speak, to go wherever He instructs, to move at His command, not when it's easy, but when it's ordained. And that moment is now. Some of you have been stuck waiting for human permission. But God already authorized you. He's watching to see if you will take that step. See, heaven doesn't seek the polished, it seeks the yielded. You don't need credentials to obey. You don't need a title to answer the call. All you need is a heart that's willing and a soul that burned. The early apostles flipped the world upside down without social platforms, without cathedrals, without funding, because they carried the fire of God in their spirit and a prophetic vision of what was ahead in their hearts. That same fire is burning for you. That same spirit is speaking even now. The enemy's greatest threat isn't your history, it's your destiny. He fears who you are becoming. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why the spiritual warfare is intensified, because the enemy knows that if you ever fully step into what God has revealed, you will demolish strongholds, you will sever generational bondage, you will rescue souls from the grip of darkness. So he tries to wear you down. But let me remind you, no weapon formed against you shall prevail, and every tongue that rises to accuse you shall be silenced. This is the inheritance of the Lord's servants. You are more than a conqueror. You walk in victory through the blood of the Lamb and the power of your testimony. So don't hesitate, don't retreat, don't delay. The voice of the Lord is roaring into your spirit, declaring, behold, I am doing something. Even now it springs up. Can you not see it? He is shaking all that is unstable, so only the eternal will remain. He is tearing down every idol. He is pulling up every lie by the root. He is quieting the chaos, and in the sacred silence, he is softly saying, what's next is coming. Prepare yourself. Purify your heart. Fix your gaze. Wash your robes. Merit your lamp. Because when the Lord discloses what's next, you don't enter it casually. You charge into it with sacred fire. You step forward with your armor securing your spirit ablaze. You proclaim to every demon, every fear, every delay, my God has spoken. I will not bow down. I will not break. I will claim what he promised. And when you move into what God has revealed, you don't go in timidly. You walk in transformed. You advance like one who has stood face to face with God in the furnace. Like one who has heard his whisper echo in the solitude of the cave. Like one who has been stripped of pride and pretense and now walks clothed in the righteousness of Christ. You are not entering this moment as the same person who doubted, who wrestled, who cried in the midnight hour. You are stepping forward as one who has contended with God and come out stronger. You may walk with a limp, yes, but it's the limp of those who have been touched by glory. Let the world call you foolish. Let them mock your devotion, your discipline, your fire. They said the same to Noah. They sneered as he built the ark under blue skies and dry land, warning of judgment their natural minds couldn't comprehend. But when the clouds broke and the floodgates opened, those who mocked wished they had believed. Don't wait for the storm to start obeying. Don't wait for the shaking to start building. Prepare now. Pray now. Act now. Because what the God revealed is not on pause. It is progressing. Some of you are standing at the edge of your Jordan, watching the currents swell, remembering God's promise, but hesitant to take the step. But I declare to you, as the priest did in Joshua, put your foot in the river. The breakthrough won't begin until you move. The waters won't part until you reach out in faith. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't wait until every detail is clear. Trust the one who holds the blueprint. God doesn't unveil the entire staircase. He gives one step at a time and expects you to walk forward with boldness. And if you're wondering why there's no further instruction, it's because he's still waiting on you to follow what he already spoke. Revelation without obedience results in spiritual stagnation. God will not pour fresh fire into vessels that resist his voice. So return. Go back to the last word he gave you. Did he tell you to release forgiveness, but your heart still holds on? Did he prompt you to sow, but you hesitated? Did he call you to proclaim his message, yet you're still hiding? Obey and watch the heavens respond. Surrender and see the skies part. Yield and watch the anointing flow like oil down Aaron's beard. Dear one, what God is preparing to do next in your life will shatter expectations. It won't resemble what others imagine. It won't conform to the mold religion crafted. It won't be tidy. It won't be tame. It won't be easy. It will stretch you beyond yourself. It will draw you into depths you haven't yet known. It will loosen your grip on idols of comfort. But oh, the joy of walking in sync with the Spirit. Oh, the wonder of knowing you're rooted in the place He assigned, fulfilling the work He offered in the exact moment He appointed. See, this must be understood. Your next is not only about you. It is for your children. It's for your city. It's for a generation observing, longing, asking whether the gospel still has power. You carry a fire that cannot be quenched. You are the answer to someone's private cry. You are the miracle that was whispered in a midnight prayer. Therefore, you cannot afford to hesitate. You cannot afford to grow cold. Our time is running out. The fields are ripe. The trumpet is preparing to sound, and it is time for the laborers to arise. Can you hear the Spirit whispering even now? Can you feel that pull within your spirit, that stirring in your chest? That's not just a feeling. That is the living God calling you out of comfort and into the deep where reason fails. But faith walks on water. He's calling you to cast your net on the other side, to try again where you once came up empty. To trust Him not only with your worship, but with your direction, your resources, your future. You cannot dwell where God once moved. Yesterday's manna won't nourish today's mission. You must live by every word still flowing from God's mouth. And that word is still moving, still alive, still roaring through eternity into your spirit. If He says to cross, then cross. If He says to let go, then release it. If He tells you to build and begin. If He says to wait, then wait, not with weariness, but with worship. Let your life be the altar, your worship the flame, your obedience the offering. For this next move is not merely about entering a new season. It's about stepping into a new level of surrender, a deeper dying to salvage. Resurrection power doesn't flow through the popular. It flows through the obedient. Heaven isn't impressed by your stage. It is drawn to your surrender. And when the Father sees one bowed low in prayer, consistent in devotion, unwavering in belief, He declares, that's where I will release my glory. You may not have the most gifts. You may not hold the highest degree, but if you are the most surrendered, heaven will move through you. And when God moves through a surrendered vessel, the world has no choice but to step back and declare, this is the Lord's doing, and it is wondrous in our eyes. So rise, not by your own might, but through the strength of the Spirit. Take what the Lord has unveiled and run boldly with it. Write down the vision, make it clear, declare the word, embody the word, be the word in motion. Let your life speak for itself. I heard the voice of the Lord and I could not stay seated. I saw the move of God and I could not hold back. I received His call and I gave it my all. But what's next isn't approaching. It has already arrived, not some distant future, but now. Not a possibility, it's a certainty. Surely the hand of the Lord is upon you, and He is asking, whom shall I send and who will go for us? Will you respond? Will you rise up? Will you run with it? Then lift your gaze, beloved, for the field is not empty. It is overflowing with divine promise. You've been calling your environment dead, but God is asking, can these dry bones live? And I proclaim to you, yes, absolutely they can, and they will, but not by human strategy, not by intellect, not by the persuasive words of culture, but by the breath of the Almighty. When his wind rushes through the valley, bones start to shake, graves begin to break open, and what seemed over becomes the foundation for revival. Stop praying for the path to be easy. Pray for it to be anointed. Stop chasing doors built by human hands. Seek the gate carved by God himself from the side of the rock. The narrow way may not be popular, but it carries power. It won't bring you crowds of admiration, but it will give you real authority. It won't lead you to stages of praise, but to quiet places of alignment. That's where God unveils what's next. Not in the spotlight, but in the secret space. You see, the next step in your life isn't just about promotion. It's about transformation. God isn't just lifting you higher, he's taking you deeper. Into surrender, deeper into reliance, deeper into the kind of faith that whispers, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. This is not the hour to perform. This is the moment to purify, because what lies ahead cannot be carried by hearts half given. God is refining his remnant. He is shaking his people, not to harm them, but to awaken them. And hear me clearly with trembling in my soul. Your next calling will cost you. It will cost your ease. It will cost your image. It will cost friendships that were never rooted in righteousness. It will separate you from the complacent and align you with the consecrated. But oh, the reward, the unspeakable joy of standing right in the heart of God's purpose. The stillness that comes when you're in sync with his spirit. The blaze that erupts in your being when you finally realize, I am walking in what heaven wrote about me before my first breath. Do not let fear silence your faith. Fear has a voice and it lies. It murmurs, you're not prepared. You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. But the cross speaks louder. The blood speaks louder. And the spirit within you roars with holy boldness. Greater is he who lives in you than he who dwells in the world. You are not disqualified by your history. You are qualified by his covenant. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by what Christ accomplished. And I sense this deeply. God is raising up a generation who refuses to bow to culture. People who won't trade their spiritual inheritance for the applause of men. A generation more consumed with God's presence than with popularity. More desperate for truth than for attention. More devoted to the altar than the stage. You may feel isolated, but you have not been forsaken. Elijah thought he stood alone, yet God had reserved 7,000 others. You are not the only one. You are part of a remnant, and the remnant is rising. What the Lord whispered to you in secret is about to be confirmed in the open, but don't get caught up in visibility. Stay grounded in the unseen. Stay attached to the vine. You can preach powerfully and still feel empty. You can draw a crowd and still miss the move of God. But if you remain in the secret place, if you dwell under the shelter of the Almighty, he will take you where your strength could never carry you. He will unlock doors no man can close and seal doors no man can open. The shaking you've been experiencing isn't the enemy triumphing. It's God realigning your life. He's tearing down unseen idols. He's removing false foundations. So when the blessing arrives, you'll know exactly who it came from. This next move of God won't rest on charisma. It will rest on consecration. It won't be held up by charm. It will be sustained by purity. For the eyes of the Lord search across the earth, not for the influential, but for the loyal. So rise up, not with pride, but with sacred confidence. The kind of boldness that says, I don't have all the answers, but I've got a fire shut up in my bones and I cannot remain silent. The kind of faith that enters darkness and declares, let there be light. The kind of surrender that lays every plan, every desire, every timeline at his feet and prays, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Don't wait until you feel qualified. You never will. You weren't chosen based on how you feel. You were chosen by name. God saw your weaknesses and still said, go. He saw your insecurities and still said, speak. He saw your past and still said, you are mine. You must drown out the lies of hell with the truth from heaven. The very same spirit that raised Christ from the grave dwells in you. Not a weaker version, not a shadow of the original, the exact same spirit. And when you walk in the power of that truth, even the mountains begin to shake. Chains begin to shatter. Generational curses start to unravel because you're not walking in your own authority. You are walking in the power of Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega, the one who was, who is, and who is still to come. So what's next, beloved child of God? Destiny, deliverance, dominion. Not only for you, but through you. You are a vessel, a channel, a carrier of divine power. The season of hesitation is over. The season of compromise has ended. The season of lukewarm faith is finished. This is the hour of holy fire. This is the hour of decision, and heaven is awaiting your surrender. So now, dear one, I ask you, what will you do with what God has revealed? Will you slip back into routine, soothing your soul with comforts and distractions? Or will you rise with sacred fire in your spirit, with tears streaming down your face and purpose blazing in your chest, declaring, Lord, here I am, send me. The Lord hasn't stirred your heart to leave you idle. He hasn't whispered purpose into your soul just to watch you fall back into average living. He has awakened you for this very moment in history. The hour is urgent, the harvest is abundant, and the laborers cannot afford to be asleep at the wheel of eternity. Examine your heart right now. Lay aside every burden that's weighed you down. Release the sin you've justified, the bitterness you've nursed, the fear that's gripped your steps. Do not take one more step without fully surrendering to the God who created you, called you, and desires to release his power through your life. Let your pride crumble. Let every excuse be buried. If you must fall on your face, if you must weep before him, but let your weeping birth resurrection. Let your surrender shake the heavens, because your life is not insignificant to God. Your obedience is not every yes you give him echoes across eternity. Every time you choose him over compromise, you are tearing down spiritual walls. Every time you trust when giving up would be easier, you are waging war against the forces of darkness, and heaven sees. The angels celebrate. The great cloud of witnesses is cheering you forward. Your faith is not isolated. Your journey is not invisible. Keep walking, child of the Most High. Walk forward when the world mocks your convictions. Walk forward when loved ones misjudge your heart. Walk forward when the path is rough and the nights are long, because you are not walking toward a dream. You are walking with your deliverer. You are not chasing it, you are carrying his presence. You are not forgotten. You are engraved on the palm of his hand. His spirit goes ahead of you. His mercy shields your back, and his glory, oh, his glory will rest upon you. Let the fire fall again. Let revival spark in your household, in your spirit, in your unseen places. Let it burn away all this false. Let it refine your intentions. Let it rouse your heart to eternal things. Stop running after the applause. Run after the altar. Return to your first love. Return to the foot of the cross. Return to the still, gentle voice that has never stopped whispering your name. Today is the day, not someday. Not when you're in a better place. Not when things calm down. Today. This very moment is the time to say, God, I'm all in, not partially, not when it suits you, but completely, wholeheartedly. No retreat, burn the bridges to what once held you. Leave no access for the enemy to re-enter. Let your yes shake the gates of hell and bring rejoicing to the courts of heaven. Because the one who began a good work in you has not stopped. He is faithful. He is powerful. And he is not unveiling what's ahead so you can stay stuck in the same place. He is summoning you to rise, to step fully into his design, to carry the flame of his spirit and ignite your surroundings with his truth. Don't just believe the word, live it. Don't just hear the calling, walk in it. Let your life testify that when God reveals what's next, it's always greater, always deeper, and always saturated in his glory. Now go with boldness, with humility, with holy fire in your bones and love overflowing from your heart. Go knowing that heaven stands behind you. The cross leads before you, and the power of the living God dwells within you. Go and never